Would it surprise you to know that our current administration has unmet goals from its first term in office? We're going to talk about that. And two scriptures that align perfectly with this story today and why it's important for us to watch our leaders. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Shielded Prepper. This channel is committed to bringing information that expands a prepared mind. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell, give it a thumbs up. It helps push this type of information out to those that may not have received it yet, and there's still time for us to begin to prepare and expand our family's protection. All right, well, let's get into this, everybody. I am sitting in the shed. We've been working the past several days. There's so much going on this week, and in my heart, I think about talking to you every day. Some days we're able to do that. Other days we have family expectations, yet I think about you all every day. Okay, we're going to lead with scripture first, and then we're going to tie it into this story out of the Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal, it doesn't bend right. It bends the other way. Proverbs 28. And this channel, I love the book of Proverbs. If you've never read one book in the Bible, choose Proverbs first. It's really interesting and very wise, and it'll land on your spirit and encourage you. Proverbs 28, verse 2. Listen to this. When there is moral rot within a nation, its government topples easily. And when wise and knowledgeable leaders are appointed, they bring stability. When there's moral rot within a nation, it topples easily. And when its leaders are wise and knowledgeable, they bring stability. Where are we right now? Think about the leadership, not just domestically here in the United States. We have our issues all over the world. And then Proverbs 28:28, same chapter, says, when the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increases. Here's what this is saying, that when the wicked rise, men hide themselves. Let's think about hiding not as, I'm going to go hide in a hole. No, it's they position themselves quietly. Right now, I'm hiding myself, not out of fear. I'm positioning myself quietly. Just like you should be, and you probably are. So if you hear this today, that when there's moral rot in a country, its government topples easily, if you understand what this is, put it in the comments below. I'd love to know what your take is on this. And then obviously when wicked men rise, or when the wicked rise, men hide themselves, or they position themselves, and they build a shield of protection for a period of time. Let's get into the story with Wall Street Journal. Hopefully you received something from that. Okay, so this the title of this is on Biden's second term agenda. Number 1, unmet goals from first term. And they outline several of these unmet categories that he will be focusing on with this administration if, for some reason, he enters the White House for another 4 years. They will be covering social policy, the economy, climate and energy, foreign policy, healthcare, and voting rights are going to be their big focus. Starts off with President Biden desires American voters to give him another 4 years in office to finish the job. A signal that his second term agenda would be driven largely by efforts to reach policy goals left undone in his first term. Mr. Biden will push under his social policies for universal pre-kindergarten, expanded elder care benefits, and more affordable housing. These are all really important things on some level. This is what he's going to focus on social policy, and we have to remember that when there's moral rot within a nation, its government can topple easily, and there is some morality rot that's happening, and this just does surface level agenda. Really what's underneath a lot of this is going to go way deeper. And in the second term, when he doesn't have to worry about being elected again, he's going to bring the circus animals and the hand cannons. Mr. Biden has made some attempts to use executive authority, including adding a requirement that companies applying for federal subsidies to build semiconductor manufacturing facilities, which we've been hearing a lot about, will require them to provide affordable childcare for workers. So as they begin to ramp up these semiconductors and these chip manufacturing facilities as part of this program that would have subsidies attached to it, they'll have to require that they offer childcare for their workers, which probably isn't the worst thing in the world. So I kind of agree with that. On the economy, the White House is seeking to reorient the economy away from reliance on China and prompted a series of major semiconductor companies to pledge a new build for factories here in the United States. And the program is just launching. And it will be years before any of the chips start getting turned out. So they're starting now. Remember how we've been talking in the nation? The Economic Ninja talks about this. This is a slow burn. They're anticipating this shift. This is going to happen. The reason why they're building these semiconductor plants here in the United States is because of preparation. They're preparing our country for a long haul issue with China and Taiwan potentially. Moving on over into climate and energy, there will be new tax incentives for low emission types of energies and subsidies aimed at shifting our country to renewables. And the White House has also taken a series of administrative steps, including proposals, extensive new limits on vehicle tailpipe emissions. So this is on your dirty tailpipe, your gasoline cars, along with rules to drastically cut back emissions on methane. Okay, so there's many different ways methane is produced. One big one that they've been fighting is cows. And we've lost hundreds of thousands of cattle over this last year with the drought. Many of them had to be taken to slaughter, so our meat prices came down. Yet we're probably going to be seeing that really jump up even more here in the months to come. Meanwhile, Mr. Biden has kept a close eye on gas prices and can be expected to take some actions intended to ease access. Listen to how they say this, to ease access to fossil fuels in the short term. They are going to put the pressure on fossil fuels. We're going to receive it. Ultimately affects the middle of America. The families that are the pockets of the country, it doesn't matter political affiliation. These fossil fuel reductions or these easing of accesses are going to be right in our face in the next 4 years if Joe Biden, or it's actually over the next 6 years, if Joe Biden wins his second term. Some foreign policy analysts say Mr. Biden has been successful at returning a sense of stability to America's image overseas after the unpredictable tenure of the former president, Donald J. Trump. Some policy experts, some foreign policy analysts say, come on. When we see him stumble up the stairs, when we see him lose his train of thought, when we see him talking about people that aren't around, this affects us as a country. This affects us. And it's interesting to say that he is returning a sense of stability. Okay, we'll accept that, Wall Street Journal. In healthcare, Mr. Biden, his number one, not last, his number one is he pledges to codify abortion access. This is a hot button. I know how I believe, and I do not agree with it. I know that it's highly uncomfortable, very incendiary, and we have to be praying for our country because this goes right back when there is moral rot within a nation. Its government topples easily. And I see our country and our government toppling little by little, slowly. It doesn't just go kablooey. It's a little by little. It's all of these decisions that keep being made. Citizens of YouTube, be encouraged. All of these things must happen. They're going to ebb and flow, and it is our responsibility. It is not the government. We cannot put our trust in our faith in principalities or our governments. We have to ensure that we are taking responsibilities for us and our families and helping those in our circles. So today, I encourage you, read Proverbs 28, open the book up, go to chapter 28, and just read through it. It'll bless you. You'll receive something from it. Also, in the description area, I'm going to include the document, the scarce items list. This is important. Our family, if you choose to join us, this month is increasing our food supply in preparation for what we may see this coming fall. All of the influencers and the different channels within the Ninja Nation are talking about this. We have to be taking this serious right now, and it almost becomes like a slow drone when you hear it over and over again. Just remember that these things are real, and the potential of them being catastrophic for us in this country are significantly higher than them not happening. Insure yourself. Prepare your family. I'll include a link to this too. I think this is super important. Own one. We have 2 of them by design. The Survival Medicine Handbook. This is a really cool book. You want to educate yourself? This is out of this world interesting. Have a great day, guys. Read Proverbs 28. It'll bless you. I'm so excited about what our future holds. Have a great day, and I'll speak with you tomorrow, potentially.